Last time on Nerd Motivation. Let's talk about anger issues. So, do you have them? Do you know anyone that has them? Do they scare you? Did you grow up with them in your childhood? I did. My mom was pretty angry growing up. She just was. She would get really mad and yell at the top of her lungs at me, threaten me, all kinds of things that I don't think I'll ever do to my kids, or in fact I will never do to my kids. It's always bothered me to the point where any woman I date, I kind of have a small litmus test of how quickly they get to angry. To be honest, I know I can be an annoying person, if I'm being real. And I know that, like, a certain type of girl is going to be able to ride with me and not get pissed. Because I tend to ask a lot of questions. I can be argumentative. I like to play devil's advocate a lot when I argue. I can argue without actually being angry myself. I like arguing without there being a real fight there. It's kind of fun for me just to kind of see what people, do and how they think. So I know that can be irritating. And I always say the same thing. If you can't deal with me, what are you going to do with kids? Because kids are even more irritating. Kids ask why a million times. Kids don't listen when you say shut up. Kids are being kids. It's like when people get mad at dogs for like peeing on the floor. You're like, oh, Sparky, how dare you pee on the floor? You freak out on the dog. And I'm like, why are you freaking out on the dog? He's a dog. You literally brought an animal into your home and you're mad because he peed on the floor. Be mad at yourself for bringing an animal into your home. If you don't want pee on your floor, don't bring animals into your home. I mean, yes, you can train them, but don't freak out on it like it's stupid for peeing. It's intelligent for peeing because it found a place to pee. It's a dog. But I digress. I just tend to get really scared when people are angry. I'm actually going to therapy right now, not for myself, but for couples, for dating and whatnot. And we've been working through kind of my fear of anger. Really, I fear a lot of, actually, if not all, negative emotions. So whenever people are sad, or people are obviously mad, or just anything that isn't mostly happy, I tend to kind of recoil or pull back. So it's just my natural thing based on what I went through during my childhood. Because, as I said, my mom was angry a lot as a kid. In fact, the last person I actually got angry with was my mom. My mom was doing something that was inappropriate. And, I get really protective around my niece. And I'm just like, yo, could you not do that, with a little kid here? Basically, she was cursing in front of her. And I'm just like, yo, could you not? I will do a lot of things in my lifetime, but one thing I won't do is stand by while you steal someone's innocence. So, I kind of, get mad at my mom, and, she was like, you yelled at me. I'm like, yeah, I yelled at you because you're literally doing one of the worst things you could do in front of a child, in my opinion. But I digress on all that. I'm just recently kind of thinking about what anger really is and where it all comes from. And ultimately, a lot of times it's fear. But then I wonder, is it just a lack of self-control? Because the people in my life that I know that get the angriest, I feel like just lack the self-control. I've had points where I could have been angry, but I said to myself, you know what? If I lash out, I'm gonna make this worse. If I do what I'm feeling right now, things will escalate. But meanwhile, I'll say that I've dated people who've gotten so angry they'll threaten you. Again, dating people who've gotten so angry that they'll walk out of a room and slam a door and call you out of your name and start cursing. And unless I'm pushed to my absolute limit, which it takes a lot to do that, I don't do that. So the fact that they get there so quickly or have gotten there so quickly has always just kind of shooken me a little bit. And I never really know quite what to do with it aside from not matching their energy. So if you're dealing with someone who has anger issues, don't try to scream back at them because it just makes things worse. It just builds up the anger more and more than you would ever really think. And it winds up not being a good thing for anybody. And I always wonder, is that something people can overcome? Or is it something that you have to just learn to deal with? I don't know. I know that there are anger management, coaches you can go see that can maybe help. But I really think that just being able to be aware of your emotions, it's always going to be a really powerful tool. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like sometimes when I'm on the internet, right, and people are being jerks, and like they're really like, I feel like, you know how you get into an internet beef where someone's saying something really ignorant, then they start like kind of like doubling down on their ignorance, and you get mad because you're like, yo, really, are you saying that for real? Are you really saying that? And then you catch yourself, maybe it's just me, but you catch yourself and you're like, you know what? I'm getting too worked up about this. This is somebody on the internet. I don't need to let this work me up. So then you close your computer, you walk away, go do something else. That is really what needs to happen in regular, like, arguments. If you're fighting with someone or you're dealing with someone and they're pushing you to a point where you're really mad, maybe just walk away. Like, you know what? Hey, I'm getting myself worked up about this, so I need to probably just stop. When I was in college, I used to want to be a poli-sci major. I used to want to, be in politics. But then I found myself listening to Rush Limbaugh and Bill O'Reilly and other random like pundits from the side that I didn't agree with, which was mostly the conservative Republicans. This is before I became a moderate. But I would listen to them, and I would just hear the people who call in. They'd be like, "Hey, boy, yeah, you heard, yeah, them blackies out there taking over, like saying stuff like that, like all the hip hop music is making them stupid, and what you're seeing is the mind control. It's like Alex Jones, but before Alex Jones." And I would start just getting really mad at these people saying really ignorant, stupid things. And so I'm like, you know what? I can't get into a profession that's gonna piss me off every day. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do art. And now I'm a project manager. Tell me how that works. But I just feel like if you're dealing with anger issues, you might need to see a professional. You might need to speak with a psychologist or a psychiatrist. You might need to talk to a friend. Or you might need to just get some dang self-control and learn how to control your anger. If you're around someone that pisses you off, if you're dating someone that pisses you off, if you work with someone that pisses you off, you know your own triggers and you know how to control yourself. Don't try to put the blame on your anger on someone else. It's 100% up to you how you decide to deal with it. You literally can't blame anyone else if you get mad and you break something. You can't go, well, you made me do that. Nope. You totally could have controlled that. 110%. Take control of your own destiny. Angry people. Because, to be real, you guys don't calm down, you're gonna make me mad. I don't think you really believe that. That's why I don't fully even really believe Bruce Banner when he says he's angry all the time. To become the Hulk and enrage that. Because I feel like if you're really able to control that kind of anger that turns you into a green monster, then you're not really that angry. Because real angry people don't control it. They let go. They let loose. But maybe he means to build up. I don't know. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this particular topic. We'll talk soon. However you still look for.